Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Anthony Fantano here.
Hola, señorita.
The internet's most correctest music nerd. Let's talk about a topic. Big topic this week being the final release we've been waiting.
I've listened to a few of the songs from Vultures 2, and god damn, we ain't even going to talk about it, but I hate the album.
Waiting for quite a while.
I swear to God, I had a leaked version of River, which is on Vultures 2, and the leaked version sounds leagues better than the actual full version.
No complaining that they calling me the bestest. Pressure cut, bust down, broke necklace. I ain't telling no reason to disguise it. I done seen it, I turn my eyes. No complaining that they calling me the bestest. Pressure cut, bust down, broke necklace. I ain't telling no reason to disguise it. I done seen it, I turn my eyes.
It's mental. The full version sounds like it hasn't been mixed or mastered yet, but the leaked version sounds better, and that is crazy to me.
For the full, entire, and complete drop of the second installment in Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign's Vultures album series, Vultures 2, which has been pushed back weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. It's taken so long to get here. So long, in fact, it's kind of making me wonder, are we ever going to see Vultures 3? And if we are, is it going to be even released this?
I actually didn't know there was going to be 3. I'm not really keeping up with it as much as some people are, but I just knew there was 1 and 2. I just thought that was it, to be honest. I didn't realize there was a third one, but I mean, I look forward to it if it's actually worked on.
Year? I mean, it's a good question. It's a good question considering the timeline that brought us to this point. However, right now, whether or not we get Vultures 3 may not even be something that is on the minds of anyone right now, even some of Kanye's most hardcore fans, what remains of them now anyway, because the reception online for Vultures 2 so far has been pretty friggin' terrible. I mean, it has to be, because I've been seeing numerous comments on my YouTube videos, especially my fake play silly skit Vultures 2 review, as well as comments and mentions on social media apologizing to me for attacking me and harassing me and slandering me during my unreviewable commentary on Kanye's first Vulture record, and basically the general commentary I was giving about this, current era of his career. Because I guess the quality of Vultures 2, again, is so poor that it's pretty much proven nearly everything I've had to say about Kanye at this point correct.
You know what's crazy to me is that the last album of Kanye's that I really enjoyed is still Life of Pablo. I haven't listened to any of his previous stuff all the way through. Like, I've got a couple of songs from, is it College Dropout, I think? I've got one song from Graduation. I couldn't tell you what they are, I just don't remember them. I just know they're on my playlist. But the last one was Life of Pablo, and I love that album, but nothing's came even close to that since then.
The creativity is not there. His mind is not there. The effort is not there. The music, most importantly, is not there.
Agreed.
And Vultures 2 is just proving to be the proof of that, staring you blankly in the face with no filter, no nothing, completely raw dogging it, just uninhibited laziness and bad ideas. Now, before I go any further into this video, I will make an admission. I have not heard this album, and I have no plans on hearing this album. I don't want to listen to it.
That's
fair. I don't want to review it. I don't want to assess the music on it or the quality of the art on it, because, again, given even Kanye's most hardcore fans are disappointed by it, and believe me, many of them swallowed Vultures 1 happily, and that album was total crap, in order for them to actually be disgusted and disappointed with the quality of Vultures 2, it has to be unquestionably one of the worst things to be released this year. And how could it not be, given some of the most ridiculous aspects of the album that have been brought up online since its release? For example, the track 530 off of the record has been shown to be just...
No, you're joking.
A low-quality YouTube rip. Yeah, it's just basically an unfinished demo that got thrown onto the record. But even more weirdly, there are bars and flows on this record that...
This verse was originally written by Sci-Hi, don't know. After the song was gave to him to work on in 2021, the verse was reworked and then put through an AI fill. I just, what?
are not actually Kanye rapping. It's AI Kanye, which I guess is the case for the first verse on the song Sky City, which to me is wild. Like, I feel like it's one thing to be some kind of, you know, a bedroom producer doing a thing and you're trying to make some sort of Kanye parody or copy, and then I don't know, you get your hands on some kind of AI vocal interface, and
that's oh my god, I've never heard of such a thing. I've never heard of an artist using AI. That's of all people Kanye to use AI. That can't be true.
And then you rap a fake Kanye verse. I mean, it's not great.
Nah,
and I feel like that technology has been kind of abused in weird ways.
Yeah,
as
it has.
of late. But again, I feel like that's one thing. But it's another thing to be doing that and you're Kanye. You can just use your own voice.
Yeah,
you can just be the guy that you are AIing because you are actually, in fact, that guy. And just leaving verses like this on the record, presenting in the way that you are, is just friggin' lazy. Of course, also there are multiple uncleared samples on the.
Didn't have permission to sample port. I don't even know what that is. On Vultures 2. No way. Was not cleared of the original. Oh yikes. The song also released in lower quality than the leaked version.
Record, which isn't too much of a surprise because he keeps doing this, and every single time he just doesn't really learn his lesson. I mean, why would his fans presume he's clearing any samples at this point anymore? And of course, because of this and a bunch of other things just generally being issues on the album, like mixing and unfinished vocal performances that are pretty mumbly.
That's what I say.
Once again, Kanye is kind of changing and completing the album in real time, which was kind of cute and kind of interesting, and did lead to ultimately a better product when it came to The Life of Pablo, as the gradually improved version of that record was quite a bit better than the first one that came out on streaming services. But aren't we tired?
I didn't know that, because that was a time period that I wasn't into rap the way I am now, so I never heard it when it first released, but that's interesting to know. But the version that I know of Life of Pablo is my favourite Kanye album, 4 Miles.
Tired of this whole routine at this point with Kanye. Like, it's not funny anymore. Try different jokes. It's just getting old. It's just getting stale. Can't we just hear the album how it should be the first time out of the gate? Is that not a thing that we can do anymore? Do we have to piecemeal the whole goddamn thing every friggin' album cycle?
We're literally making albums live service games. How can they do that? How can this be a thing? This is a joke. I can't... Oh my god, I didn't know all of this, you see. This is the stuff that I don't care about. I just listen to the music and be done with it. That's all I care about. If the music's good, then I'm happy. That's all I care about. Now we're doing live service albums. What's going on? What's happening to the world? It doesn't make sense.
Also, it seems like some of the issues and problems on this record are so goddamn glaring, they shouldn't have to be fixed after the fact. Kanye is putting this thing out like it's his first rodeo, as if he hasn't sold millions of copies of albums across his career. Again, with the quality level that this is at, we're no longer getting, like, you know, a cool behind the scenes look into, like, the process of his creativity and how he brings things from a rough idea to a complete idea. No, what's happening now is clearly that he doesn't give a fuck, and he'll pretty much put out anything, even the musical equivalent of a turd.
That's
that
fair.
is so bad, it doesn't really matter how much you change it or alter it, it's still going to be a turd. And not only
he knows that the biggest fans are just going to ride the wave of poo-poo, and he'd be happy with that. I'm just trying to think. There was a Kanye album where it was released, and I forget what it was called. It was the one with, like, the mountains and the green text. It was just called Yeah. This album, right? It was this one. I hate being bipolar. It's awesome. This album, to me, when this was released, right, I had in my mind, it made it out to me like this album was kind of an afterthought. It was like Kanye's Untitled Unmastered in my mind. That's what this album was made out to be for me. But I still loved a few of the songs that were on here. Some of the ones that come to mind is All Mine, No Mistakes. There's one more, I can't remember the name of it. All Mine, No Mistakes. Was it Yikes, maybe? I think there's a song called Yikes. But those are all, in my mind, really good tunes. But this album, like I say, Untitled Unmastered is the closest thing that comes to my mind when I think
No
about
matter
it.
how much you change it or alter it, it's still going to be a turd. And not only is it clear at this point that Kanye doesn't really care about the presentation and the quality of the music, but he doesn't really care about his fans either. Because as I was saying earlier, like things have gotten so bad and so desperate, they're apologizing to me, also starting Reddit threads about me, saying, yeah, Fantano, if you want to say this is unreviewable, I won't argue. Which, like, for an artist of Kanye's size,
Yeah, true.
and an artist with Kanye's sometimes sycophantic fan base is really goddamn embarrassing. Like your fans are literally on
Yeah.
your subreddit telling you that your record is so goddamn shit that me, the most sexy, thick, and notable music reviewer of my generation, that I would be well within my right to pretty much, like in the Meat Canyon video, pull down my pants and take a dump on your
Hey, yo, chill.
album, which I would happily do if it was actually even worth doing that in the first place. But it's not, because truly and honestly, again, I don't want to listen to it, because doing so would be a waste of my time, a waste of your time, audience that would potentially watch that review. And I would probably just the entire time listening to the record be feeling secondhand embarrassment for you, Kanye, an artist whose fall from grace at this point has become so tragic and so sad and so disappointing that I don't even get the kind of rise out of it that you would with, let's say, a dumpster fire or a train wreck that you can't look away from, because it really has gotten that bad and dragged out.
It's funny you say, what did he say there?
Train wreck.
A train wreck. That reminds us of who made that song, Soul Train? Or was it the album? Was it at YBN Namia? This song? Oh my god. the dislikes, the likes and dislikes, that's crazy. So I've just searched it up, right, while that was playing. I searched it up on Spotify because I didn't know what position in the world Kanye was. Apparently he's 22nd in the world. For him to be putting out albums like this blows my mind.
You can't look away from, because it really has gotten that bad and dragged out. I don't want to look at the train wreck anymore. I really don't want to stare at it anymore. The last thing I want to do is spend one more goddamn second looking at this train wreck. And if the album is this bad and is getting this kind of reaction, again, like I can only imagine how terrible Vultures 3 is going to be. But yeah, Kanye's barely flowing. If it's even his goddamn voice on the record, the production is ass, mixing is ass. Songs are ass. It's all
production was my biggest surprise from the couple of songs I've listened to in the album.
His fans that were totally on board for Vultures 1, who are pretty much confirming this, with only maybe a few stragglers here and there willing to either go completely balls deep and say, yeah, it's amazing, it's album of the year, bro, it's album of the year. But when you're not seeing that, the most reasonable and complimentary things I've heard about the record from his fans is just that, well, you know, like, it sucks and it's total crap and it's unlistenable, but there are some good ideas there.
When your biggest fans are still crapping on the project, you've done something wrong, especially when it's Kanye fans. It's a bit of a surprise to see this even happening in the first place.
You just need to get cleaned up.
Kanye fans are a joke at times.
Then we're in business, baby! But the thing is, Kanye does not have the ability or the focus or the capacity to self-edit that he once did. And as a result of that, you're never going to hear these songs. You're never going to hear these songs in a state where they would actually be presentable in a way where they would likely resonate,
which is a shame,
with anybody outside of the Kanye cult.
They're
forever going to be in the dark, sunken place, because at this point, Kanye is completely friggin' cooked, and we need to stop kidding ourselves about that. Just move on. Listen and pay attention to other things. There are other interesting things going on in the world of music that are not Kanye continuing to ruin his goddamn career. Do yourself,
there's more interesting things like woke up looking for the broccoli.
And do him.
I just want Kendrick to release that snippet.
A favor, if you actually care about this man's music and his artistry, do everything that you can to maintain a positive view and outlook on that by just ignoring the new crap and just listening to the old stuff that actually mattered actually had impact, was actually significant, because I guarantee you, the more you watch this slow motion immolation that is happening, the more difficult it's going to be to look back on a lot of those older records and even see merit in them, because this is goddamn embarrassing.
That's fair. That's fair. There's no way at this point that he's going to find a way to recover it with Vultures 3. So, to be honest, in my mind, I agree with that final statement. If I want to try and find new Kanye music, instead of going to Vultures, what I'm now going to do is go back to the College Dropout and listen to the songs that I didn't listen to. I'll go back to Graduation. I might go further. I don't know. But the point is, I don't think I'm going to find many songs in Vultures 2, and definitely not Vultures 3, that I am going to like, apart from the ones I've listened to. And I'm telling you, there's a 3 that ain't any. I haven't added any songs from Vultures 2. I promise I haven't, and that ain't good. Good try, though, can you? No, it wasn't a good try. You don't care no more. But, is what it is. But, yeah, I agree with the final statement. If you're looking for more Kanye music, don't look at Vultures. I think that's a really good way to end that video. So, yeah. Anyway, is what it is.